Yeah, so you wanted to touch on
That's full.
optics, you had mentioned at one point?
I think we covered it mostly. I just mostly want to know your thoughts on the night vision versus thermal, but I think we touched on that enough. One thing I will say while we're on air is when I first started, I've been shadowing you for several hunts now, just kind of coming out and learning the ropes and getting a feel for it. Something that kind of shocked me was, and it shouldn't have, like it's obviously a thing once you think about it, but like how night blind you go.
Yes.
In the eye you're using for the optic, yeah.
We're back after these technical difficulties.
Yeah, we cut out for a second there, but we were talking about night blindness with the optics. Yeah. Do you get that with night vision, or is it just thermals?
Yes, because it's a digital display screen. Okay. So you just have this white light in your eye, and when you're not used to it, after hunting hard, like 7, 8, 9, 10 hour nights of hunting, the next day you almost have a like welder's flare. Like your eye is red. It hurts to blink.
Yeah.
And nothing's worse because I scan with my right eye, but I'm left-handed, so I shoot with my left. So after like a 15-minute stand or scanning, then I'm on my gun for 3 minutes, waiting for it to stop or come into range, and I shoot. It goes down. Then I'm just full-on Helen Keller out there feeling for this son of a bitch. Closing one eye, closing the other one, closing one, closing the other, trying to, using my foot because I'm hoping to Jesus this thing is dead.
Yeah.
But, because having not dead coyotes when you walk up is not pleasant. I've killed a fair share of dogs in my time. Like I said, there's guys that have killed way more than me. I know, like Freddie Fry killed over 100 last year.
Wow. Do you carry a sidearm?
No.
So you're just rifle only?
Rifle only. I've only ever felt bad for one coyote in my entire life while hunting. I was taking a buddy of mine and I think he was 14 at the time, 13 or 14 years old, and their cousin, who's my sister's boyfriend, and then a buddy of mine from downstate. So there's 5 of us that went out, and I wasn't very optimistic on that night with 5 guys, just trying to get everyone situated, keep everyone quiet, the motion down to nothing. We had the best night we've ever had with 5 people when we took 5 people. But first up, my sister's boyfriend, 3 minutes into the stand, shoots a coyote. And we're like, all right, well, second one ran off. I saw where it ran to, so we moved up and around. Start calling, and this little female comes out, and I was like, let the kid shoot. He's never killed one. And I was like, he gets first shot. If it doesn't go down, we had 3 guns. I'm like, have fun. Mm-hmm. And he shot first, and it sounded like D-Day. Bam, 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 bam. This coyote is running mock Jesus across this field. And I can see that through my scanner. It's just like, because it's like 40 degrees. And you got 101 degree blood coming out, just splatter coming out of this thing. Damn. I'm like, this coyote's not making it out of the field. Well, we're in a potato field, and it finally flips, rolls, and goes down in a potato furrow. And it didn't come up. And I was like, we got it, guys. Reload. Let's pick up all 27 rounds. Shells that are laying around. We want to get invited back. And we walk out, and the coyote picks its head up. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I was like, gun. They're like, they're not loaded. All the bullets are in the truck. I'm like, fuck me. So I was like, what do we do? I walk up to it, and it's not running. I was like, and my buddy, Dustin, who lives downstate, the kid gets coloring books for Christmas, and he's in his mid-20s. Walks up, he's like, I'll take care of it, and just picks it up by the nape of its neck. And it kind of like mouth is going around, and he just pulls out this like 8-inch, and I just slowly, and goes, shh, shh, shh. I'm like, what the fuck?
I am not hunting with you again.
Well, the thing is, we shot at this thing damn near 30 times. How is it still alive? We take pictures, slap hands, get back to the truck. They shot this coyote, and they hit it 4 different times. They hit it in its left front ankle, its right front ankle, its right rear hock, and its left rear hock. blew out every joint of its legs so this thing could not physically run anymore.
Just a stub.
No mortal shots.
Jesus.
Thing would have died of infection or
Yeah.
starvation. It's the only coyote I've ever felt bad for in my
Yeah.
entire life.
The one that got slowly stabbed like it was the sniper in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah. Just whispered to him. I'm like, ugh.
Go towards the light.
Yeah. But just go with it. Just go with it.
I wouldn't hunt with that guy. There's something wrong.
That's a little unnerving.
That night, and my buddy Dustin had just gotten his thermal too, and we called in 8 coyotes that night. Shot at 6, killed 3.
Yeah.
We called in this double, and they're coming, and we're trying to get everyone lined up and get everyone moved. And that's the bitch with hunting with more than 2 guns is, hunter safety, number one. You got 3 guns. It's dark. You're afraid someone, instead of line up where the barrels are the same, you got one guy
make sure
staring
everybody's
back. You're blowing
behind
out eardrums. It's just, I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it. So if there's more than 2 guns, I don't go. Or I'll go, but I leave my gun in the truck. And so these coyotes are coming. And I'm like, wait for him to stop, wait for him to stop, wait for him to stop. Bam, they shoot. The dogs are 60 yards away this time. And then all chaos. And they're running, guys are shooting. Coyotes are hauling ass to the left. They're mag dumping. And then I hear shots off to the right. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I look, and as these deer are crossing or running out of the field. And Dustin's just one after another, just shooting. And I'm like, hey, dickhead, what are you doing? He goes, shooting a coyote. And I'm like, those are deer. And he's like, well, I got one. I'm like, fantastic. Fantastic. We're not saying last names, so possum cops have it at your will. But, I mean, it's just, I'll never forget that. Like, and that's where it comes in, like, with the quality of your optic, too. Like, I'll shit on ATN all day long.
Yeah.
Because my buddy, he was getting into the thermal, like, whatever you do, just do not buy ATN. Well, ATN had a scope and scanner bundle for like $2,000, and he bought it. And he's looking, and he's like, we got a fox. I was like, that's a deer. He goes, no, it's not. He goes, it's coming. I was like, shoot it. See what happens. It's fucking deer. I can tell you that right now. It was August. Buck still had velvet. I could see its antlers. And he's like, well, if you're sure it's a deer, I'm like, come look at mine. He's like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah. Quality of it. But like I said, mine's mid-range. It was like a $4,500 scope. I have a buddy that could sell his scope and buy 3 of my scopes for what he got for his, and then sell a scanner and buy 2 more.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, there's you can pay upwards of $20,000 for these things. I mean, in my opinion, though, I'll spend the decent money on a scope, but I won't on a scanner. I mean, granted, my scanner was $2,000, I think, when they were new when I bought it. And then the one you guys were using, I think I picked up for $600. It's a buddy handheld.
Yeah.
That are back up in case something happens to mine while I'm out hunting.
Sure.
But you guys saw the quality difference of them.
Yeah.
All I need that scanner for is to tell me something's in the field. And once I see a heat signature, I switch to my gun, and then I can tell what it is. So that's why I'd rather spend the money
on the scope.
Personally.
Yeah, but between yours and RJ's, when I look through your guys' scopes, like the imagers and the scanners are nice. The scopes,
Yeah, it's night and day.
I openly decided when I looked at what yours was going for online. I was like, I'll save.
That's
wait.
what I'm saving for.
Yeah, I'll save. I'll wait. And looked at the price difference of adding the laser versus keeping it without the laser rangefinder. Absolutely, I want to know.
Yeah,
I want to know. I'm going to be that guy.
Rangefinder's a game changer. Because I can't tell you, our kill rate's gone up since I got LRF. Because I'm not taking pop shots.
Right. You're taking accurate knowledge.
It is 196 yards.
Yeah.
Dump it.
You know if you need to aim high.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the nice thing with that 22 Nosler. It's a flat shooting gun. If I have to aim high, it's out of range.
Actually, let's touch on caliber selection for coyotes and any predator hunting. Why did you choose the 22 Nosler? What brought you to that decision?
I like the knockdown power of close range of the 223 and the damage it does, but the range sucked. your velocity drops off so much. And my favorite round to hunt with is a 204.
204 Ruger.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a tack driver. Even out there at 400 yards, it's a fucking tack driver. But your muzzle velocity is like 3,800 FPS, right out of the muzzle. At 300 feet, or at 300 yards, it's 425. I've been shot with paintballs at that. You'll knock them down, you'll knock the wind out of them, but they're going to get up and run.
Yeah.
With the 22 Nosler, it's a 204 or a 223, but on steroids, because there's just so much more powder behind it. It just gives you that additional knockdown power. Ultimately, if I could afford to build it, because I like the custom guns myself in an AR platform. I just like the way they look, I like the way they feel, I like the way they shoot.
Yeah.
I would go with the 243 with like a 55 grain bullet. To me, that's just the most versatile for knockdown power when it comes to cow. It doesn't matter where you hit them, they're not making it out of the field if you hit them.
Nice.
But you gotta be careful too when you get into speed velocity of a round. A buddy of mine uses a 6.5 PRC. He's had more runners than I have. It's such a fast round. If you're gonna hit something hard, like a shoulder or the neck or the head, and you miss every rib, zips right through that coyote. It knows it got hit, but it makes it a mile before internal bleeding kills it. So I'm just a fanboy of the Nosler because it goes in and you can't find an entrance. There's an exit because you can stick your fist in it. I mean, it goes in. It does damage. I mean, you can kill coyotes with a 22,
Like
center
rim
fire,
yeah.
like a rim fire.
Yeah.
Hit it in the head at 50 yards. I mean, any gun will kill it, but it's what range are you hunting?
Yeah.
And do you want to take the chance? That's why I went with that Nosler. I've seen what they can do. Like I said, I told you I don't like walking far from the truck. I don't want to have to walk any farther than I have to get a coyote or a fox. When I shoot them, I want to know they're down.
Down.
So
I know this is a little more technical. Do you know what per round, what it costs you to shoot the 22 Nosler?
yeah, I actually could tell you if you don't mind me doing some math.
No, I'm curious because Eli and I are both in the preliminary stages of we're damn near by the barrel and lock in a caliber.
$1.64. I don't
About what we're shooting for bismuth on.
I
ducks.
don't reload.
Yeah.
So I don't reload. I buy factory. Hornady's got it figured out. Who am I to say I can do it better? I'm grouping, $50 at 300 yards. I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I know you could dial it in with hand loads. I don't need to. I'm shooting at something that's 14 inches deep and 36 inches long, and I can hit a $50. I'm okay.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
But I mean, I know some people enjoy reloading. I'd rather watch flies fuck. I find no enjoyment in it whatsoever.
Yeah, I hear you.
But so
Yeah, I keep. When I found out that you were using the 22 Nosler, I did a little bit of research and I had asked you some questions off air, and I'd talk myself into a 22 Nosler, and then over time I talked myself back out of it, and now I think you talked me into it.
Yeah, you're putting me. So the times that we've talked, I've done the same thing where I've been I'm on the fence, I'm off the fence, I'm on the fence because it's I got to build a gun from my standpoint. I got to build a gun that's custom.
Yep.
To do that, I'm not going to take a 22 Nosler to the range and put a magazine through it.
Right.
There's no financial
Gain to it.
reason to that. I can take a 223 to the range at half that cost.
You're right.
And be a happy man.
Hey, you can buy 20 rounds for $7. Plinkers for 223.
Yeah. But then at the same point, like you're saying, it's that 600-700 yard reach out touch, and you're not compensating more than a couple inches.
Yeah, and like I said, around here, I'm not shooting that far. I think the farthest I've shot and dropped one was 386.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like making those shots, but when it's tournament time and we're eating dog shit 2 nights straight, I'm taking that shot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to check in empty-handed. I'm gonna at least fucking try.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's all personal preference. I mean, I got guys that hunt with 22 250s, 22 Creedmoors, 6 Creeds. It's all on what you like. There's always a debate. If it can kill a coyote and you like it and you can find ammunition, let her rip, tater chip. go ahead and do it. Like I built mine custom. I like mine. It's a Delton lower with an Odin Works barrel, and then I got a 15-inch M-Lock handguard on it. And I prefer M-Lock over key any day.
I'm M-Lock too.
Yeah,
you guys are key mod, right?
I got in before M-Lock was the standard. So, I mean, I started building 2013 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
Key mod was the new thing. Everybody thought the military was going there, so I standardized on it.
I like the M-Lock because there's so much versatility
Exactly.
for adding stuff on. Lights, sling.
You
anything.
can't buy the
I'm not gonna
handguards that I
lie.
have in the profiles I have. You can't buy them because those companies went out of business.
Yeah.
When Key mod lost the military.
Everyone jumped ship.
Yeah, and those companies all died.
Yeah.
So like I've got beautiful favorite. I got one that looks. You've seen the old M16s from Vietnam that have the triangle handguard.
Yeah.
I have one that's like that with a nice flat bottom on it. You rest your hand on it.
Yeah.
That company's long gone. They've been gone to the wind for 15 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a stupid debate, honestly, because Keymod lost out by such a little bit when they were doing that little competition, I guess, or like their what's the word I'm looking for?
The trials.
They're doing their trials. It
Military
lost by a
trials.
little bit, and I mean, Unlock's cool, Keymod's cool. I'm not gonna lie, whenever I buy it, like a handguard for an AR, I'm like, I do because it looks cool, not because Keymod Unlock. I'm like, oh, this looks cool, it looks ergonomic, I like it, it's cool, it's gonna hold my shit. Like, I can find either one, and like, the thing is, like, you can always find a pick rail attachment for a Keymod.
Yeah,
Unlock
to go to
either way.
1913 or 1911.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter too much, honestly.
Yeah, you end up converting to pick rail for almost every accessory.
Yeah, pretty
Anyways.
much, yeah.
So I got to ask you a question, and I don't mean this to come off as being mean to your rifle.
Fuck your mother. What?
Is there a reason you still use an A2 pistol grip in a stock?
Comfort.
That's just you personally. That's
It's what I'm used to.
I was curious about this. I saw that when you first took me out, and I was like, I ain't gonna knock a man for building his rifle, but at the same time, I had the question, and I was like, it's got to be a reason that you like what you like.
It's the devil I know.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with it. This is really the only reason. I mean, I care more about what's coming out the end.
Yeah.
And how accurate it is than I do a lot of the cosmetic stuff. I mean, I know there's different grips that are, easier, more comfortable. Honestly, if it was 1,000% up to me, I wouldn't even run an AR platform.
Oh yeah.
If I could build my gun with what I call a dangerous game bolt action, you guys know what those are.
Mm-hmm.
It eliminates that up and down. It's just
straight pull.
straight pull.
Yeah.
If I could get a straight pull that was spring loaded, tits. I would do that in 1,000 times over in a heartbeat.
So like a M14 kind of ish sort of platform.
When you say spring loaded, you mean spring loaded
spring loaded
forward.
Forward, yeah. Because I just want to pull it back and let go.
We were actually
Yeah.
talking about this on the way over.
They make those Cali keys now. I've
Yeah.
thought about doing
Yeah.
those for deer,
Yeah.
so I could take my AR platform and make it a deer rifle.
One of
Cali
my
key.
dealers in Wisconsin, he hunts with a bolt action.
Yeah.
And we had a quad come in. He could shoot just as fast as I could with his bolt. I mean, he was throwing lead just as fast as I was.
Yeah, as long as you can keep your target acquisition while you're transitioning, then you're not
Fucker
losing
got
much.
3 of them before I killed one. I mean, he
Yeah.
was that fast with it.
We were talking about that on the way over here in terms of like the AR platform and longer range shooting. Whenever you have an AR that's either in a tripod, bipod, what have you, it's really not that comfortable of a shooting position because it's meant for like CQB type stuff, like you're walking, engaging targets. It's not. I mean, they do it. It's not really meant to like set up and sit. Whereas like a traditional rifle, the way that's set up feels so much more comfortable. When you're sitting on a
I mean,
tripod
you
and a
feel
bipod.
like your face is right, and you're getting so much blowback and everything. Yeah, I'll agree with you 1,000%. You'll never catch me hunting without a tripod again, though.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I got one for
Versatility,
Christmas
freedom.
after you took us on.
Is yours a bog?
No.
No, RJ's is a bog.
RJ's is a bog. My backup is a bog. I started with a bog.
Yeah.
I have a Slick 700 with a I can't remember the name of the ball head on there, but the ball head itself costs double what the tripod did.
Yeah.
Because that to me that's more important. I like the Slick 700 because it's lightweight and it's I can carry it. and you've carried the bog versus carrying mine.
Yeah,
you see the huge difference.
Yeah.
Now, if I had the time and that I used to, I would upgrade to like a Warrior tripod or a Fat Boy tripod. You know, those things are $1,100 sometimes, fully fit. You know, depending on what you put on top. Because those things it's like shooting off of a bench rest or a gun vise. I mean, those things. I just like that stability. You know, because you know when you're holding on that target, waiting for it to come in. I like the motion to not be there. You know, I like being steady and say, I couldn't figure out what the fuck that noise was for a minute. I thought someone was farting. I was like, that's too rhythmic.
Yeah, I did notice on your videos how stable your sight picture was.
Yep.
It was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And to realize that that's real time, real life.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, that's nice.
Well, that's the thing too with digital scope. It's technically not real time. There is
like a delay.
not even a half. It's less than a half second, but there is a delay.
Yeah.
So like when you're leading a coyote that's running, they say a lot of people won't shoot at runners. I don't give shit. Like, I will shoot at runners because I don't care, and I do lead the coyote pretty hard. I mean, for where you would lead a deer with a glass scope, add another foot.
Oh, really?
You're close to duck hunting then.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
You're out 2, 3, 4 feet in front.
Butt, belly, beak, bang. You know. So, but yeah, because I remember when I went goose hunting for the first time, I'm like, yeah, you got to lead it, and I shot the thing right in the ass. He's like, more than that, more. And I was like, he's going down. He's like, yeah, but he's pissed. Yeah. He's like, you go.
He's alive and mad.
Well, like I told you earlier, I was like, I don't waterfowl hunt with dogs. I do with Mennonite children. they wouldn't even go get it. They made me because they didn't want to get bit. I'm like, what do you care? You got 13 fingers. Get out there. You can afford to lose a couple digits. Hey, listen.
That was.
If it works, it's line breeding. If it doesn't, it's inbreeding. So,
Yeah.
So TJ's,
that's probably getting cut.
Yeah,
It's not.
at this point, we're in the after dark.
I don't like editing that much. You'd be amazed how much stuff stays in.
Yeah, until I lose my job. Someone's going to slip up and drop a hard R, and somehow AI is going to think it was me.
And this group probably is.
Thanks. Yeah, you'll find me at the unemployment line next week.
No, I mean that's how TJ started out with duck hunting. Is like he won that gun at the raffle 3 weeks before season.
Yeah.
I took him out on his first hunt, and the first set of birds that came flying by, he's treating it like a rifle. I'm up. My tube is empty. This man is sitting there going, boom. Yeah, tease. They're the next zip code over. We'll get them next time.
That's what I was doing too.
Yeah,
honestly, that's what I was doing
shotgun
too.
in so long that I was like, I did like the first time shooting that gun was shooting at ducks.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, I gotta recalibrate. Even shooting them on the water. Remember we were talking about that? I was like, even they're little, maybe 20 yards ahead of us, you gotta aim with your bead over their head.
Yeah. So if you're gonna water swat a duck, have you done much waterfowl hunting on the water? So if you're hunting ducks on the water, and you're gonna shoot a duck that's on the water, which some people are pissing them on that's not sportsmanlike. If you're gonna do it, you can't pull up your gun, put the bead on their head, and pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Because your pattern's gonna be 3-4
You're
inches
gonna
low.
see it hit the water before it hits the duck.
Yeah, 'cause
It's gonna be
that
skipping
duck's
off.
doing this the whole time too.
No, but it's skipping off the water.
Oh.
Their vitals, when they're in the water, their vitals are under the water. Your BB's never hitting them. You're ripping their back apart. You might get them in the neck. You might get them in the head if you're lucky.
Yeah.
What you're supposed to actually do is put that bead above their head and pull the trigger. All them pellets are going right into their head.
Yep.
Makes sense.
If you skip that shit, you get a duck that's laughing at you as he flies away, and he's pissed, but he's alive.
You aim dead center body, you'll see your entire spread just right before the duck just
In the water.
The duck will be like whack and fly away.
What I thought was neat when I goose hunted with them for the first time out in Indiana is I watched them. I emptied my gun, we got the plug 3 shots.
Yep.
And I was sitting there scrambling because we had 30 geese that were cupped in. And these guys are shooting 6 or 7 times. And I was like, don't you guys have to have a plug? Like, yeah, we do. We only have 3 in. I was like, how are you shooting 7 times then? They had them cupped in their hand.
Yep.
And after every shot, they were throwing another one in the tube. It was
that's awesome.
I mean, and I was like, holy shit. Like, they're like, it's it's a skill that you learn. I can do one, so I can get 4 shots off.
Yeah, you get an extra
But
shot.
yeah, I'm too clumsy to do that. And then I'm like, oh, bismuth.
Oh,
is
we've tried
expensive.
to. Yeah, we've tried to do the. If there's geese coming in, and he's like trying to dump the tube and shove number 4s back in, or BB.
My boss
Such a pain.
grew up on a dairy farm in southwest Michigan, and his dad's favorite hobby was to go duck hunting. Well, as a farmer, you don't get a lot of time off.
Right.
So he always got one day a year where
He said, "I'm duck hunting."
I'm going duck hunting.
Yeah.
So a hired man would do chores. Well, Dustin turned 10 and wanted to go. And his dad's, you know what, you're 10. You write a passage, you can go. Well, Dustin was a pissing it. He was the youngest of 5 and the only boy. So he got away with murder. And they're sitting there that morning, the sun's coming up, ducks are starting to come in. All of a sudden they hear a gunshot. And then another one, they're like, Dustin, they're way too far, like 200 yards. And he goes, no, Dad, look. He was shooting fucking muskrats as they were swimming past the blind.
That's
awesome.
I feel like coyote hunting is the same way, and that's the beauty of duck hunting. Is like you can do that, sit there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then another set will come in.
Yeah.
You know, whereas deer hunting, like you fart and then you're done for the day. You know.
Well, coyote hunting, I mean, it's so hit or miss. Like, I've shot a coyote within the first 3 minutes of the stand, kept calling, 10 minutes later another one showed up. But I've also called, shot one, came back 6 hours later, called in another one. But then I've also called in, came in, shot, missed, and never called in another thing the rest of the season at that spot. So it's so up in the air with what it is. I mean, coyotes have such... That's the thing I said. You can't call them if they're not there. So don't get discouraged. Oh, there's coyotes on, but they're not here. A coyote has a very large territory.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it could be a 3-mile loop. And he might only be there on Tuesday, and you only get to hunt Fridays. You ain't going to get him. I mean, and a lot of these coyotes, anymore with the popularity of thermal and predator hunting, thanks a lot COVID, it really, you know, popularity in the sport grew.
Right.
You're hunting educated dogs anymore. I mean, RJ and I went out, and we saw these guys leaving, and they're like, well, where are you hunting? We're like, well, we're going to hunt here. Oh, we just called, there's nothing there. Oh, fine, whatever. Well, RJ and his dad pulled in there, 10 minutes later killed a double.
Yeah.
Like, it's timing and knowing what to do and what to play.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when I get a new Fox Pro, first thing I do, I delete every sound off of it.
Because they've all heard them.
Everyone and their brother uses them.
Yeah.
And I go and I get MFK, Tony Tebby, Boss Acoustics, Bustin' Fur, a couple other companies I'm not going to mention because I don't want other people starting to use them. So
I get those offline.
and they're all saved on a file on my computer, and I bring them up and reload and recategorize and organize my entire collar. I just get rid of them right away. Oh, I take them back. I keep Platinum Gray Fox. I call that all reliable. I have killed red fox, gray fox, coyotes, and bobcats with Platinum Gray Fox.
Wow,
That's crazy.
I mean,
cool.
a gray fox is a bully. I mean, a gray fox will head up with just about anything in the wood. They are a feisty little bastard. So it's kind of like when you were in school. You look like you got picked on a lot. So if the bully in school was getting the shit beat out of him, you'd want to watch, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you're gonna run down and watch. Reds want to see it. Bobcats want to see it, and coyotes want to see it because it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for them because if I mean, like I said, predators are opportunistic animals. So if something is getting in a fight, there's a chance one's gonna be maimed so bad it can't leave the field, or it's gonna be dead. That's an easy meal, for them. So they're just gonna sit there and wait. So they'll come up and you'll see them check up 100 yards away and just come in and sit and just wait for it to get quiet, and then they're going to come in and try to pick up the scraps.
Wow.
So,
And fight with the winner, who's probably beat and bruised. And
yeah. And that's the thing, like when it comes
easy fight.
when it comes to prey distress sounds too, everyone's like, oh, like, what are you playing? I'm like, I play a lot of jackrabbit. Well, there's no fucking jackrabbits around here. Cow don't know that. All it hears is something's hurt. I'm hungry. I'm coming. But I'd say out of the coyotes I kill, though, 99% are killed with vocals.
Yeah.
Rarely do I kill them with prey distress sounds. That's a lot of it's vocals.
Hot tip.
Never killed one with a collar, though. I can proudly say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, never killed one with a collar.
That's why you're still here.
Yeah. Well, everyone always says, too, like, you know, you get shit on, like, well, how do you know you're not going to shoot the farmer's dog? How do you know you're not going to shoot a German Shepherd or a Husky?
You ever hunted one?
If you know what you're doing and you can read body language, you can tell. Mm-hmm. You can tell if it's a coyote or if it's a domestic. I've had domestic dogs come in. You know, it was like skinny little, like, husky, like, Malinois looking fucker that came in. And...
But friendly and more jaunty.
I mean, it came in to 100 yards away. It was a stray for sure because it ran when it got our scent. But you could tell the way it came in, the way it held its tail, the way it postured, the way its gait.
Doesn't bounce around.
Doesn't really bounce. Doesn't hop. I mean, it just runs like a dog.
Yeah.
The only time I ever about shit my pants is we were debating: is that a dog? Is it a coyote? Is it a dog? Is it a coyote? Is it a dog? I don't know. It's getting squirrely. Make up your mind. We shot it and dropped it. And then we see a porch light come on 500 yards away, and we hear someone calling for their dog.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
And I was like, motherfucker. And we walk out. It was a coyote that we shot. That was a long...
the pucker
Yeah,
factor.
that's a long walk to go check that
The
one.
pucker factor took it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit.
You felt yesterday's lunch going the other
Oh,
direction.
dude,
for a hot minute.
my balls were in my throat.
Yeah.
I was like, we just shot someone's fucking dog.
Yeah.
I watch it be like a service animal or something.
Oh man.
But yeah, that one was sketchy.
Yeah.
But so, like I said, what I want you guys to do though is the best time to go for predator hunting and the best way to pop your cherry, in my opinion, is with fox.
Yeah.
You know, we need to set it up and schedule that, you know, weather permitting. I'm a fair weather hunter. If it's raining or the wind's nasty, my ass is parked in my recliner. I'm not getting wet. But opening weekend of fox season. I mean, let's just hit it. We can start here. We can go over and hit a bunch of my spots. Go. Early season's the best.
When does that run?
Usually end of October through end of February.
When everything runs.
Yeah, to say.
But it's nighttime.
I was gonna say maybe because that's your saving grace.
Yeah.
If I'm not asleep at that hour, preparing for
Wake up
tomorrow
at
morning.
3 to go duck hunting and then take a nap.
Sleep.
Get
all
you guys
day.
to buy your PA license. I already have a couple spots lined up for duck
planning on buying
in
one.
PA. So
Twist too hard, I promise.
Here's my view on it. Too. I don't hunt until the sun comes up. I can't. Well, I live on a dairy farm. My wife still works on her family farm, and I have 2 small kids at home. I have to be home by 4:30 because my wife
AM
goes
or
to the barn.
PM?
AM. Most of the time when I go out hunting, especially when fox season opens, you know, it's getting dark at 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'll hunt from like 6 until 1. That's 7 hours.
yeah.
I'm fucking tired by
Yeah.
then. So, I mean, we'll get a few laughs, and like a lot. I've gone out before and didn't even get out of the truck. Sometimes it's just nice just to drive around, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm just a firm believer you can't kill them from the couch.
Yeah.
So, and if I got an itch to scratch, sometime when my wife's making dinner, I'm like, I'll be right back. We live on 700-800 acres. I'll go do a stand real quick and come back in 15 minutes to supper's ready. So I try to sneak out a little bit here and there when I can.
Yeah. That's nice.
But, so yeah, eventually one of these times when we go out, we will
Yeah.
kill.
Put some blood on the ground.
We would have the first time I ever took Eli out. If I was sitting there, I'm scanning, and nothing's really responding that night. You know, the barometric pressure was off, and you know there was.
And I'm still brand
there
new
was-
asking questions.
There was no wind, which is, in my opinion, the absolute worst time to hunt. I'll hunt in a 20-mile-an-hour wind before I'll hunt with no wind. When there's no wind, canines have no advantage. They're not coming in. They'll come to a field edge, but they ain't charging in. You know, a nice 5 to 7 mile an hour breeze, steady breeze is the best time to hunt. And Elroy over there looks over and he goes, "Man," he goes, "Oh my God," he goes, "that deer's walking funny." And I was like, "What?" So I look at my scanner. I'm like, "It's because it's a coyote, jackass." Now duck, because I'm swinging my gun over. And it was a 320-yard shot, but it knew we were there, and I took a shot at it, and I can do frame by frame when I slow him down, right under its belly.
Whistled it.
So, and I was just like, "Fuck me in the butt." This is how it goes. But at least we saw one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was my first time out with thermals.
That's cool.
Anything I'd done before that was like me and a couple buddies with red lights and a you know whatever box store call, and one dude's just like cracking cans and eating potato chips or something, making a shitload of noise. Like, this is not gonna work out.
My one buddy, he grew up in Rochester. He didn't know what he was doing. He said him and his buddies would get drunk and take their bow and arrows and set out deli meat. I'm like, how'd that work out? He said, not very good. He said someone would throw up or get a field point through their leg. I'm like, fantastic. But
Sounds like Tuesday.
Yeah, we had like a dead rabbit that we'd shot that day, like out at the field edge, and we were sitting in the back of the truck with the call hooked through my speaker system because we didn't even have like a proper call. Like it didn't have
just Bluetooth.
It had really crappy volume,
Yeah.
so we were like, well, I can get the sounds off, and it's got an aux cord, so I aux corded it to my truck.
Well, that's what everyone says too. Is like, oh, you got to play the call loud. They have really good hearing.
Yeah.
Like there's a sound of my call I use as a coaxer for Fox. It's called vole squeaks. Mm-hmm. How loud's a vole?
Very, very,
Very
quiet.
quiet.
And I can pull them from 200 yards away with a minimum volume.
Wow.
Because they can hear it.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting.
But it blows my mind just how you got to have a love and respect for these things. I mean, whether it's a coyote or a fox or bobcat, I fucking hate bobcats.
Yeah.
So because they have very short attention spans. So you're constantly rifling through sounds. And they only seem to want to come in at a season for some reason. I called one in like the day season ended this year. And so Josh was with me, and I was like, "Get on your phone and find out when Bobcat ends." He's like, "Yesterday," and I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
Sounds like I shot him yesterday.
Yeah, but
Yesterday, like at midnight, or like this midnight.
I'd want to get it tanned or mounted. And be like, "Oh, tell us the story. I got that. Oh, funny thing, I poached it." Yeah, that doesn't sit well with everyone. Yeah. It's like, tell us how you got that. What are you, a fucking cop? Mind your own business, But I can't have coyote mounts in my house anymore either. I had one.
Yeah.
It was all snarled up like it was in a fight, and it was in a trap because I caught it. It was beautiful cherry blonde coyote.
Nice.
I had it there for 4 years, and then one day my dog decided it hated it and chewed it up.
That's funny.
So I sent a picture of my taxidermist. I was like, "Can you fix this?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "All right, well, how much to mount a German short hair pointer? Because that fucker's gonna die."
Because this is next.
Yeah. Well, like I said, with predator hunting, we're our own worst enemy. Predator hunters, with the shit we post online, just some of the habit. It takes one bad apple to ruin a bushel.
Oh yeah.
And
I feel like that's the case for a lot of hunting too, because even in duck hunting, I've been seeing that.
yeah,
People
guys
get
that
sick of
mud
dudes.
stomp teals
Yeah.
when they're over their limit or they're out of season.
Oh, how many guys did we run into last season that were being assholes for no reason?
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those things too. It's just I get so fed up with it, like the houndsman versus the night callers. Mm-hmm. Guys, we're in this together. It doesn't matter how you do it. Like if you want to keep this going, and you want the ability to do this, set your differences aside.
Yeah. You gotta find the common ground.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I work in the dairy industry. Mm-hmm. You see it there too. You have these what I call commercial dairies milking, 3,000 to 20,000 cows. Then you get guys like my in-laws that milk 70, and they call them factory farms or mega dairies, and they're the ones ruining it.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Sorry, they're a little bit better with their money than you are, and they're progressive. I think that's in anything that you find. You have the haves and the have-nots, and people get pissed. But and I see it with deer hunting. I see it with like you guys were saying with goose hunting. or duck hunting. It's no matter what it is. And it's kind of turned me off of predator hunting a lot, especially with like tournaments and stuff, because everything just becomes a dick measuring contest.
Yeah.
With, well, what did you go out this weekend? Yeah. How many did you kill? Killed 2. I killed 3.
Yeah.
Or like my buddy put something on Snapchat that he went out and killed 2. I get a text from other people. Where'd he get them? None of your fucking business where he got them. What's it matter to you where he got them?
You got them where they hit the ground.
Yeah, just and my go-to answer when people are like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" I'm like, "Well, you know where the Acorn in Gallatin is?" I'm like, yeah. I was like, "Well, it's nowhere near there." So,
Like, I mean, we had our
Not
season.
on the couch. That's weird.
yeah,
We had our season this year, and by any big waterfowler's season, we had a horrible season.
yeah,
By our season, it was the best season we ever had.
yeah.
We had a fantastic time.
I had a fucking blast.
Hunted more days this season than I've hunted any season I've ever hunted.
Well, let me ask you guys this with the waterfowl season, because and we had this discussion over the geese because the geese numbers just weren't there. Do you think the HPAI had a lot to do with it? That's bird flu.
Yeah, the avian
Yeah, I
flu.
remember that. Yeah.
I don't know.
We yes and no. So
I
yes,
think the temperatures had
Yeah,
more to
it was
do
a
with it
weird
than the
fall.
it
fall
impacted
time.
it impacted the number of spawn more than it impacted the number of ducks that we saw. So I'm
Yeah.
in the room. I'm the only one that hunted pre-avian flu, and that was my high school days. I was hunting small puddle jump ponds, and we were still seeing 4 or 5 ducks a day, and that was all you got to shoot at, and it was a good time, but it was all you did. Now we're seeing 30, 40 ducks a day, but we're still only killing 4, maybe.
I mean, that's if we can call them in, obviously, but
and,
maybe
and
more testament to us than the ducks.
I think the response from duck hunters, well, at least in our opinion, what I can say I see, the government response was worse.
Yeah,
So they
So
reeled back
nice.
seasons, they reeled back game limits. They said you can only take 2 mallards, you can only take
Yeah.
6 ducks, you can only do this, you can only do that. Shortening the seasons. Now, just this year in New York State, they posted the next 5 years of regulation,
yeah,
and they said 4 mallards, and now you get 7 or 90-day season. It's a longer. It's a longer. I'd have to look again to
Yeah.
even tell you because it's so new. But they extended the season out, and they changed how they split it up early and late. Their whole point was this time around, it wasn't so much worrying about bird watchers and people. It was, what do you want to hunt? And when do you think they're here?
yeah,
And like Eli was just saying, this was
We had a weird season.
we warm season.
yeah.
We were hunting November in t-shirts
Yeah.
and sweatshirts. I mean, it was
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed even
warm here.
just the popularity of hunting in general has dropped too, like the interest levels. And
We got a surge with COVID, and now,
Yeah.
now I think
Well-
we're seeing a lot of those people that were just fair weather, like,
Well,
I have nothing better to do.
yeah, well, I've noticed when
Falling back
when
off.
we were kids. I mean, granted, I'm quite a bit older than you guys, but I remember opening day of deer season. There was a truck like every 200 yards,
Yeah.
up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference is people used to ask permission to hunt too. And now everyone posts their land because they want to enjoy it, and the next generation wants to enjoy it, and they're getting sick of people just doing what they quit asking. Like I had I live, somewhere between bumfuck and you got a pretty mouth. I mean, once the mail's been delivered and I'm home, usually no one goes up and down our road, right? And we're just surrounded by farmland and woods. And there's a couple times a year I hate living where I do. It's usually like holiday weekends and 3-day weekends and shit, because everyone and their brother comes up from downstate, because everyone has a cabin in Potter County. And they ride their four-wheelers. Well, I was passing this group, and they were on the side of the road. One guy was broke down. His wheel bearing went, and this thing was cooked. It was about to just, the wheel's going to fall off. So we ratcheted it up and, towed him back. I towed him backwards with my pickup, and I was like, "Where's your camp?" He's like, "It's over on Denton Hill." I was like, "All right, well, leave your four-wheeler here, double up, and go get your truck and trailer." And he's like, "Oh, you do that?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. No one's gonna fuck with it here." And So he does that and comes back, and man, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. But man, it's beautiful over here. And I was like, yeah, it is. You know, I like where I live. And he said, well, I know where I'm hunting next year. And I was like, oh yeah, where's that? He's like, well, over here. And I was like, no, you're not. He said, well, your land's not posted. I was like, I don't have to fucking post it. I own it.
Your land's not posted? Are you fucking kidding me?
That was his response.
That's the newest. So
What's not posted, I can do. I can hunt.
it's
The
public
way the
land.
law reads in Pennsylvania, if it's not specifically posted, there's nothing saying that they can't come and hunt on your property other than you specifically telling them they can't. So if they haven't specifically been told no by you, they'll go on your property and try to hunt it, and then you gotta flag them down and be like, get off.
Yeah.
Damn, that's wild.
So you gotta basically be your own game warden on your property and cruise around and find assholes
which
and
is-
kick them off
that's
your property.
ruined.
Which is why, and you guys saw it on your way up here, every tree is fucking purple from here to
Here all the way back to the state
44.
line.
Yeah.
And it's ruined deer hunting for me because I want to hunt my farm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to spend my first few days kicking people off.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there almost 10 years. This will be my 11th year there. And that's how I spend my... I dread rifle
Opening day.
I dread it
Yep.
with a passion.
We've been fortunate up here that, you know, we've got...
We're surrounded by family up here. And
Well-
Yeah, we're mostly surrounded by family. We've got, I mean, for the amount of acreage we have, we're pretty much, you know, we're right there. I wouldn't want to put a whole bunch more hunters on here. And I'm happy with the amount we have, and we get DMAP tags and pull extra does and stuff like that, but luckily we haven't had to, like, kick a bunch of people off and stuff like that, and we also haven't had to go around the property with purple paint, because I mean eventually it's probably going to come to that, because everybody down the road from me has, so it's inevitable that they're just going to keep working their way this direction.
What pisses me off is if you would just ask,
I'd let you.
I'd let you.
Yep.
In a lot of cases.
I would say, listen, give me the first week. It's the only time I get to hunt. After that, go nuts.
Yep.
Kill as many as you want. We have way too many. But they won't even give me the courtesy of hunting my own property that I pay taxes on. By myself.
My father in New York had a problem where we had a guy who asked permission to hunt. He was a family friend.
Yeah.
He asked to hunt. Okay, yeah, sure. About 3 years after I started hunting, this guy started bringing a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And the friend, asked, they asked, yeah, sure, the friend can come along while you're here. Well, one day I go to get up in my stand, and this guy comes walking through the woods and goes to climb up my stand. He goes, what are you doing here? I go, I'm the property owner's son. I have every right to be here. Who are you? Oh, well, I'm such and such's friend. Well, I don't even know such and such. Where do you think you are? Called my dad. I go, there's this guy here. I don't know who this is. And he goes, oh, well, it's this family friend's friend. I go, well, he just tried to kick me out of my tree stand. That started like a 3-year battle with my dad being like, neither you nor your friend can hunt here unless you tell us. And it was only this past year where we had to call up the family friend and be like, you're still allowed to hunt here. You're not allowed to invite people to hunt our land.
Oh, it's like you give them an inch, they take a mile.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been a problem except for the fact that when I got my job and moved away from home, I'm from Buffalo. I moved to Syracuse.
Okay.
So I would take the entire first week of deer season off, and I would hunt the whole week. And I was supposed to be the only one there. Nobody else was supposed to be hunting opening week. Dad was there when he was on a weekend, but to have this guy walk through the woods to my stand and have the audacity to try and kick me out of my own stand, it started a heck of a mess.
Yeah. Well, it's that, like you said, that sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
I ran the same thing, and we gave one guy permission, and 3 pickups pulled in. Now, what the fuck do you think? Oh, we're going to drive it. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Well, you said I could hunt. You. Not
Not you and your
Nobody
friends.
else.
Yeah.
That is a one-person exclusive right and ticket.
And you just lost it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's even down here when I got permission from the neighbor to hunt his. He's like, yep, stop by. I'll write you a note. And when I stopped by, I said, hey, I got my friend Cale has been, kind of showing me the ropes on coyote hunting, and I want to stop on his property or stop on your property and call potentially. Is that okay? You scribbled your name at the bottom. Cale's okay to coyote hunt with Eli at the bottom of my permission slip.
Yeah.
It's
Permission slip. Sorry.
Yeah, but
I don't even know
well,
what you
but
call it.
if,
You
I mean,
need it
taxes
anymore.
ain't cheap.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be undeveloped land, but it's still taxes ain't cheap, and the landowner has every right to stand there and say, "You can hunt, you can."
The one thing I can't stand with landowners, though, when I go to get permission to coyote hunt, is when they contact me, like, "Hey, we have a coyote problem. Can you come take care of it?" Absolutely. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be over. In the day I'm gonna look around, and then I'll be over that night." Well, I want you just to tell me how to do it. Well, one, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You want them gone? I'll come put a dent in them. Can't get them all, but I'll put a dent in it. Yeah, or, well, I'll go with you. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can go with me. Well, I'm gonna go with you. Just this is the only time you're allowed here because I'm just gonna watch what you do, and then
I'll do it.
yeah, no,
Never mind.
no.
Yeah.
But because I got permission for it was a 6,000 acre farm, and he's like, well, my 17-year-old son's really into it and wants to learn. I was like, well, I'll take him, and I took him out and got him his first coyote, and that's how I picked up that farm. He's like, yeah, you can hunt whatever, and his son's like, yeah, I can only hunt like so and so time because of basketball, and then I'm leaving for college. He said, but like, when you come over, shoot me a text. I'd love to go. If I can, I will. If not, whatever. So I still text him every time. Hey, you want to go? No, sorry, I'm bumping fuzz tonight. Blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
but
That's cool.
like I said, and
That's the deal.
yeah, and I don't have a problem with it. But a lot of the other ones are just like, well, just tell me how to do it. No, fuck your mother. Figure it out. I had to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of these guys, they get butthurt when they go on these Facebook groups and they're like, what sounds what sounds are working right now? People give smart ass answers. Like, Lana Road's getting plowed. Shit like that, They just give these, and they're like, you don't have to be a dick or I'm trying to learn. Go out and make mistakes. We all did.
Yeah.
We're not going to hand you, and there's no sequence of sounds. You got to play this for 2 minutes and you're quiet for this. And you play this for 4 minutes and then you got to do that.
Yeah.
It's not, it changes every single night. But I tell you what, you find what's working, stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, it's basics.
Yeah.
No, and that ain't just coyote hunting.
Same's true for duck
No.
hunting.
Same's true for duck hunting.
It's-
My God,
yeah.
the amount of times that I've watched a guy, the same guy all season up at my place, set up 200 yards down the coast from us. All season, same guy.
Mm-hmm.
This man must have broke out 15 different duck calls, and he's screaming everything here and there, and he's doing all this and that. We're shooting as many ducks.
Yeah.
I got one call on my lanyard for mallard, and that's pretty much all I blow. And it's four note sequences. They don't answer me, but they made the ones. We'll see what happens.
Well, that's like, even with goose hunting, my success went through the roof when I started setting up with the wind at my back. I didn't know they like to fly in to try to.
Yeah, they like to
I didn't
land
know that. Well, shit, because I had the wind.
But,
I had the
you were
wind in
saying-
my face, and then they were just coming in from behind me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Same as you were saying though with the coyotes, you prefer a crosswind. We found really good luck with a crosswind.
Yeah, yeah. I want it coming diagonal across me.
And I can't tell you how many times goose hunting where we're like, yeah, this fucking sucks. Let's move the spread. And you get out and you put them all to the right, and then you put them all to the left, and then you move the ones in the middle, and then you put them all in the middle, and then you spread them out farther, because the geese won't land over top of other ones. And I'm just like, there's just and it's the same with coyotes. Like, we'll set up in the field and be like, yeah, but they always come out, but we never get a shot. Well, why don't we try the other side? Come in from the other
Try
side.
something different.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
And the coyotes don't expect it. And everything. They're so used to hearing, especially if you get one that booger barks every fucking time you're there.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you close your truck door, they start. They know you're there.
Yeah.
Come in a different way. And, just watch what happens. And that's what I try to tell everyone. And just mix it up. And,
Yeah.
I keep a little ledger in my truck, too, if I kill something. And where it was, what I played,
worked.
and what came. So I know when I come back, especially if there was multiples, I won't play that again. Because...
They
and
recorded that.
and I don't know if the coyote knows. But
Right.
I was like, hey, last time I heard this sound, Harold got his head blown off. So
don't want to be like Harold.
fuck too. I'm not coming in.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So and I have found too, when you shoot a coyote, and you get pairs that come in, and you shoot one and the other one runs off, and you go up and it's a female. Come back the next night. Come back a week later. Come back later that night.
Yeah.
You got a good shot of getting the male.
Nice. If
you shoot the male first, these bitches ain't loyal, man. She is 3 counties over. She is gone. It's the same when we run hounds.
Yeah.
If we get up there and we kill the female, get on the radio, coyote down. You walk up, hey, it's a female, hold tight.
Yeah.
And no one touches the dogs. You step back about 40 feet and get behind a tree.
And then just wait.
Wait, that male is coming back for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you get up there and it's a male, catch him up. She's gone. Because she will end. That's why I love, being dual sporting for it. Because I've ran dogs before, and we chased this coyote. We ran this fucker 47 miles and did not kill it. Didn't even get a shot at it. But we knew it was a pair because we seen them. Mm-hmm. And the dog split them up. I went back out that night because you could hear lonely howls and find me whines. So I went up and set up, and I shot one of the biggest males I've ever shot to this day.
Yeah.
Because we had split them up. It was breeding season, so I just played to that.
Yeah.
He was, Kevin Gates in it, just thinking with his dick, and here he came.
That's awesome.
So
That's sweet.
But so yeah, there's no secret formula to it. There's no key to it.
Every season you hunt, you get a little bit smarter.
Yeah, but like I said, probably my favorite coyote I've ever killed was I let out a howl, and one answered me. And I remember looking, he popped up in the field probably 650 yards away and just sat on his ass. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go rifling through. And it was just that time with den breakup. So I played a pup fight. And he came in on a string, just as fast as I've ever seen a coyote run.
Yeah.
I mean, he covered that field in under a minute. I mean, my heart just... a million miles an hour.
Here he comes.
And like I said, that I've shot that coyote was 4 years ago, and I've shot plenty since. Mm-hmm. Not as many as I'd like because I don't get out as much, but I still get that feeling.
Yeah. Play that right back in your mind.
I still get that adrenaline, and the day I stop getting that feeling, I'm done.
Yeah. I think that's true for most sportsmen. That regardless of their preferred disciplines, it's that adrenaline dump that comes with it is really important.
So I've told this story on the podcast. So I'll keep it
why are you showing me your
real
dick?
short. Yeah. So that's the duck this year that I shot.
Oh, nice.
And it was a banded drake.
Nice.
First banded duck I've ever got.
Yeah.
Never forget, I shot that duck, got it all the way to shore, set it on the kayak. I'm messing with my gun and stuff. TJ goes, that duck's tagged. And he said it, and Eli and Adam heard it, and they were like,
well, I was looking and
the fuck?
I was looking and registering at the same time he was. Like, his hand was coming up to point as I was already seeing it. And he opened his mouth and said that. I'm like, hey, jackass.
Did you even notice?
You want to check his leg out?
I'm like looking down, I'm like, what the? I literally was so excited. I started jumping like you seen like the kid on Christmas morning. That fully was me in full gear, waders and all.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that feeling if I ever. There's nothing that can top that excitement for me in hunting, like that feeling of just like.
Yeah. See, I was blessed and fortunate enough when I went out to Indiana to hunt. One of the guys that went with us was the founder of Duck Gun Chronicles.
Oh,
He's
nice.
got like I think it's like 4th or 5th largest waterfowl YouTube channel in the world.
That's crazy.
We didn't get the spread that we wanted for him to put a video on, but my excitement was carrying Christmas morning when I got my first goose and everything, and so then Daddy went down a rabbit hole that night in his hotel and was watching all his videos. And they got like an 8-man limit. It was something like 16 bands that day, and everything.
That's wild.
So like everyone got 2 bands and it was. I think there was an extra band, so they drew shotgun shells out of a bag. Whoever got the red one got the extra band and everything. And
That's crazy.
I remember setting it up, and I have a very addictive personality, so I did it. Goose hunt's my new passion, damn it. So I get he processed for Final Approach. So I was checking other stuff and put silhouettes in my shopping cart, put an A-frame blind in there, put goose calls in there, and this and that. Next thing I know, I'm at like $3,000. I'm like, son of a bitch. And he's like, what's the problem? And I told him, and he's like, bring it up. I was like, all right. And he brought it over and see him type on my phone, hands it back. I'm like, well, he goes, this entered my code in there. Drop that price next to nothing. And I was like, dude, for what this costs versus what I'm going to have to pay, if I do it and I don't like it, I'm selling this shit and I'm going to make a profit, even if I sell it for half.
Right.
So now I'm all set up, and
Nice.
I can't wait for September to roll around and just follow the bean pickers for early season, because they upped our limit. We're allowed 8 in early season.
Really?
When do you open here?
It's like September something, like
I haven't
first
looked.
week in September.
Ours is the first week of September.
Yeah. Follow the bean pickers around, and then we always on our
Let
dairy
me know.
farm,
I'll be happy.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, on our dairy farm, we're always the first ones within. There's 3 major bodies of water around us. We got Rose Lake, the tributary, and then you got the lake up on the headwaters lease. So geese are one of 3 places, right? We're the first ones to cut corn every year. So after about 12 hours of cutting that first field, the first geese show up.
That's awesome.
And then by the time we get about 40 acres off, it's just it is so deafening loud. I wish I brought my work phone with me, because I have videos of them. 3 or 4 different flocks of geese just V'd up, flying, coming off the lake, coming to feed.
That's
And
awesome.
we went in the field. It was like 2 days before the regular season closed. And my buddy works at National Fuel down by Rose Lake, and the geese just weren't coming. I mean, it was a cloudy day. They were sitting on the water. They weren't coming out to feed. They had fed late. And then we got out there like 1 in the afternoon. Well, there was geese out there, so we had to chase them off. And it was around like 4:30. They're just not coming back. We're getting pissed on with rain. Finally, my buddy's like, "Fuck this." I was like, well, he goes, I'm the supervisor down there. I can tell them what to do. And so he texted the one pump manager, told him to get on a side-by-side and go chase the geese off the pond. And he did. And here come like fucking 80 of them.
That's awesome.
Honking coming up. And that wave Cupton went west or east of us. And I was like, fuck. And then my buddy was like, oh, here comes more. Well, then they cut behind us. I mean, they're close. You can hear the wind coming off their wings. And they're quieting down. I was like, they're circling. They're trying to look in the blind. I mean, these were educated geese, but we were covered up real nice. You couldn't see. And he goes, I don't see them. I'm like, they're behind us cupping in. Like, they're about to loop around and come in front of us. Just get ready. It's like, I don't see them. I'm like, they're right over my shoulder. Just wait. He goes, where? And stands up.
Oh.
And you just saw them flare instantly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I'm getting on my phone. He goes, what are you doing? I was like, seeing what kind of trouble Dick Cheney got in when he shot his buddy.
I think that guy apologized to Dick Cheney, so.
Well, and then RJ's like, I'm not invited again, am I? I'm like, not for a while. Not for a long while, buddy.
That's funny.
But it was just so unseasonably warm this year.
Yeah,
Our geese never left.
Yeah.
Like, we have our native local geese that don't leave, but there's like 30 of them. But shit, we were seeing flocks all winter long, like big flocks.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
They're still up. My wife's from up in Canton, New York, way up.
Yeah, up near Potsdam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still have mallards up there on the river.
See, I love going up near there.
Shocked.
It's big dairy country up there, and every time I go up there in the fall, just the fucking geese you see. I'm like, son of a bitch. I have a dealer that's up there outside of starts with an N. I want to say it's Norvik, but I know that's not it. But it's like 10 miles north of Canton, in between Canton and Potsdam. It's like smack dab in the middle. Starts with an N. What the hell is the name of that town? Doesn't matter.
And
But there's just a shit ton. I'm gonna.
I said I gotta know, because like that's so TJ's got family up that way. I've got my wife's family up that way. Norwood.
Norwood, yes.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just the north side.
Kunstler's live up there. Kunstler Dairy Equipment. It's one of my Bomatic dealers. Every time I'm up there, I'm like, man, I was like, do you guys goose hunt? They're like, no. I'm like,
Can I?
But I guess it's real big up there. Like people like lease out the.
Oh yeah,
hunting rights.
that's TJ's cousin, right? Brad.
Yeah, cousin Brad. Yeah,
runs an entire outfitting business.
Nice.
That's what they do.
See, I want to hunt sandhill crane.
Me too.
Would be
I
cool.
wanna try that.
The ribeye of the sky.
Yeah.
So I think, I have it on this phone. I'll show you. I was in Rensselaer, Indiana, at Oak Basin Dairy. It's
They're the Midwest flyway, aren't they?
Yep. It's Garrett Dendalk is the dairyman's
Central.
name. And here's the video of all the sandhills.
Holy crap.
wow, holy shit!
This is in like his driveway
Hundreds,
coming
yeah.
up to his
hundreds,
pond.
thousands.
Or driveway coming up to his up to his dairy.
That'd be fun.
Crazy.
I mean, there's just
Poke out your truck and don't even have to open your eyes.
You shoot a limit if you just aimed.
Yep.
yeah.
Just aim in that direction.
Well, it's like I love watching those snow geese hunting videos where they just like start to cup in. And there's thousands on there. So you're kill 'em, and then it just starts snowing geese.
Yeah.
They're up at my place. So I'm right on. I'm at a lake.
Yep.
We started getting snow geese up there this year.
Really?
My dog is going ape shit. She's in the yard and she can hear them and see them down on the lake.
Yeah.
That dog's going nuts.
So my sister's boyfriend's stationed at Fort Drummond, Watertown, and he'll send me pictures of the snow geese all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I don't know when that started happening though.
Yeah,
When I was a
I
kid,
don't
I don't
really
remember
see them,
snow.
yeah.
well, usually it never really came west of like Malville. Is what I was told
Yeah.
from up there. You know, they always stuck closer to Quebec and everything.
Yeah,
I didn't even see a snow geese like in person till like honestly now that you say it this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I've
last
Never
couple
really
of
seen
years.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, they changed their pattern some.
We had a dairy down in Maryland. This is back in the 80s. They also had a hunting guide center. They're right in the Chesapeake Atlantic Flyway. Well, they combine their corn, and you have spillage, you know.
Right.
But you know, the possum cops were onto them and watched them, and the guy turned on the
Well,
auger.
too much
Turned
spillage.
on the auger when there was no grain cart around, and put a huge pile of corn right there. And yeah, that's federal because it's a
Yep.
federal
Yeah.
flyway.
Yeah.
That was a huge fine that they got.
Yeah, anything waterfowl, you're going to get hit with federal
Yeah.
charges if
Yeah.
you F up.
I warned Eli and Adam when I first brought them into the hobby. It's like, look, guys, you can't shoot it until I can identify it.
Yeah.
I said, I know you can't. I said, you have to wait until I tell you.
If it's a black duck, a wood duck, yeah.
Well, and there's
Well, we
certain-
missed a lot of opportunity the first season because he wasn't like there was.
I'm looking
there
over
was
here and they're over
instances where we had an opportunity,
Yeah.
but we were too green to know
Yeah.
if we
What
could
they're
take
you don't
it
want
or
to
not.
fuck up, yeah.
We didn't want to fuck up. We watched wood ducks fly away from us, and we both said we looked at each other as soon as they were out of range. Went
Should've
fucking
shot.
wood ducks. Could have shot them, but we couldn't identify them until they were out of range. And we're like,
Speaking of case of missing identity, my buddy Ron Snyder, avid turkey hunter. I mean,
Yeah.
the man lives for these things, and he hunts up. He's got a cabin up in Almond, New York, and lot of state game land around there. Well, they're running around trying to just strike up a bird, cannot get a bird going. Finally, do. So they run down in the woods and get set up, and this thing is just, I mean, triple gobbling, just hammering, hammering. Finally comes in, and a huge bird. Ron shoots it, rolls this thing, thinks he just shot, you know, the state record. I mean, this thing was huge.
yeah.
Picks it up and said, man, it's a big ass bird, but such a tiny beard, you know, thought it had beard rot or something.
Yeah.
They get it back, and he's like, well, I wonder what the birds are eating because I got an extra tag. You know, I want to get on, you know, the food source, you know, where the birds are going to be. And there's like carrots and mashed potatoes and shit. Someone's domestic bird got out of their pen. I got on the state game lands, and he shots them. We call him Butterball now.
That's funny.
It's a
as hell.
40,
awesome.
42-pound bird.
Oh, that's awesome.
But he was hunting my farm, and he was pinned down as when you could part of the season where you could hunt from sun up to sundown. And I was like, he's on the what we call the back 40 up by the sugar bush. I was like, any luck? And he's like, man, I just have this one I've been working for like 3 hours, but he won't break. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes like, oh, gobble, and he'll double gobble and triple gobble. And I was like, well, I want to hear this, so I'm just going to at least drive over that way. I'll stay like 500 yards away. And I could hear Ron call,
Yeah.
and then I hear the turkey. But the turkey was close. I'm like, what the? I was like, Ron, it's across the road. And he goes, what? And I was like, hold on a second. So I took a video. I could see the bird gobbling. Sent it to him. It was my wife's uncle's domesticated, like white Thanksgiving bird, and he's like, motherfucker.
I've been here all day.
He's like, I've been here since all goddamn day since sun up with this cocksucker. He's like, I'm going home.
Oh man,
that's your luck.
Yeah, that is my luck.
And I was like, well, I was like, plus side, I was like, it's the last day. You can just come shoot the motherfucker. Like, Danny's at work.
We don't like it.
Yeah, Danny's at work. If you're that pissed, come shoot the son of a bitch. Shoot his peacock too while you're at it. But
we were working at my boss's house the last couple of weeks, helping him do some renos, and every single day he has these 2 beautiful Drake hen mallards that land in his pool in the middle of town. And I'm like, dude,
hens or drakes?
Both. Like one hen, one drake.
Oh, it's a pair.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there. It's such a beautiful. I'm like calling with my hand, like stuff like that. It's like responding, and I was like, "You motherfucker!" I'm like, "I'm gonna come here during duck season, sit in your fucking backyard, and shoot this shit out of your pool, man. Like they're so beautiful.
We have a overflow pond for like road runoff and a dry cow lot, and wood ducks and mallards land on it all the fucking time. And there's no way to set up on this thing.
Why are you standing?
You're lying.
No, there's no way to set
You're
up.
Lying.
The pond is probably as big as this entire loft. Like
perfect. You're lying.
And but it's real, steep banks and everything. We had guys stop.
I'll put a pallet in the middle and stand on it.
Well, I wasn't home to say no, but my father-in-law said that they could sneak up there. They just army crawled up the pond bank and shot 5.
You're saying it can be done.
Well, that's what I'm
saying. There's a chance.
Yeah. You're saying TJ in a wetsuit stands a real good chance to get the full limb.
I can just see like the ducks and it's just like those Navy SEALs in blackface just pop up out of the water. Just a fucking snorkel. And then you just back down.
And then the ducks
you're going to have a
under the water
in your runoff pond.
Yeah. But it's just an A-frame duck blind set up somewhere.
Sounds like we need to make a runoff pond here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have it trenched with a sump pump. Just sitting in there.
Are you allowed to dig dugout blinds? Because
I don't know if you can in PA.
that bank might be steep enough.
Because New York, you can't do pit blinds, right?
You can't do anything subterranean.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the videos of those like dugout blinds where it's like
so cool.
like beds and they're in like a full kitchen and a TV?
Like down south, right?
Yeah.
They're so nice.
Eli sent me one last year.
They have like grills.
These guys had a they had a massive Blackstone cooking breakfast, like full ass continental breakfast, a massive TV, a leather couch, a pool table.
It was like a man cave, and they just had like a part of the entrance was like a pit blind, and they just step out and shoot birds.
What's bullshit? What am I doing wrong?
One guy's sitting there calling his scout, and the other guys are chilling in the car.
Yeah. Cooking breakfast and shit. Thanks for coming on, man. We knocked out. I'm gonna have to make this a 2-parter because we just knocked in another hour 13 since we restarted the recorder.
About fucking coyote hunting, dudes.
Yeah, we're gonna slice her down. It'll be 2 episodes. It'll be a part 1, part 2.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, like I said, thanks for having me on, guys, and I've had a blast. Like I love to hear myself talk. It's one of my favorite things. So that's good. Watch your hands. I know the camera's not. But yeah, like I said, if I had my own podcast, now would be the time to do a shameless plug. But I don't have one, so. No, thanks for having me on, and I look forward. Hopefully, you guys will have me back again. And
absolutely,
yeah, it was a great time.
So hopefully, we can, draw some blood for you guys one of these times that we go out. And
I think there's plenty of opportunities to flange up on some future co-hunts too and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it'll just be.
I'm sure listeners will be hearing from you again.
No, I sure should hope so. If not, I will come in when you're not home and just make my own.
All right, buddy. Thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening, and
donate to the Patreon, all that shit.
Yeah, we don't
have a Patreon yet, but you can find us on any of your favorite streaming services. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube.
Pretty much anywhere you get podcasts.
And thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good day.
Do more shit outside. Hey, thanks for tuning in, folks. Like and subscribe if you like our content so you can see what we've got going on, and use the hashtag Fraternal Outdoors on your social media and we can see what you're up to too. Have a good one.